He was the real Tony Soprano, a New Jersey mob boss who ran loan sharking, extortion, and murder rackets. He inspired the most famous TV character in history. But unlike Tony Soprano, this story has a twist. When the FBI came knocking, he didn't fight back. He became their informant, and he brought down the entire New Jersey Mafia. This is the story of Vincent Palermo, the man who sold out La Cosa Nostra to save himself. Our detective opens the file. Subject: Vincent Palermo. Nickname: Vinny Ocean. Position: captain of the DeCavalcante crime family. Territory: New Jersey. The DeCavalcantes weren't just any mob family. They were the blueprint. When David Chase created The Sopranos in 1999, he didn't invent Tony Soprano from scratch. He based him on real people, real bosses, real Vincent Palermo. Our detective pins the photo to the board, a man in a suit looking like any legitimate businessman. But the wiretaps told a different story. The FBI had been watching Palermo since the early 1990s. They bugged his cars, his offices, even his mistress's apartment. What they found was textbook organized crime: loan sharking at 8% weekly interest, extortion of construction companies, illegal gambling operations, and murder conspiracies. But Palermo wasn't just a soldier. He was rising. By 1999, he was acting boss of the DeCavalcante family. The same year The Sopranos premiered. Our detective finds the parallel. While Tony Soprano was fictional, dealing with fictional problems, the real Vincent Palermo was running real rackets. Same city, same era, same lifestyle. But here's where reality diverged from fiction. In 2000, the FBI arrested Palermo on racketeering charges. He was facing life in prison. And this is when Vincent Palermo made the choice that Tony Soprano never would. He flipped. He became a cooperating witness. The detective uncovers the testimony. Palermo didn't just talk. He gave up everything: names, dates, locations. 21 members and associates of the DeCavalcante family were indicted based on his testimony. He described initiation ceremonies, murder plots, the hierarchy, the rules. He even testified against his own mentor, Giovanni Righi, the official boss. Our detective draws the red lines on the board. Palermo didn't just open the door. He kicked it down. Here's the twist that makes this story insane. While Palermo was cooperating with the FBI, The Sopranos was becoming a cultural phenomenon. Millions of Americans were watching a fictionalized version of his life every Sunday night. James Gandolfini was playing a character based on men like Palermo. But there was one crucial difference. Tony Soprano never flipped. He never cooperated. He died before he would do that. But Vincent Palermo, he chose life. He chose his family. He chose to walk away from omertà, the code of silence. The detective compares the two. Fictional Tony died for the family. Real Vincent lived by betraying it. Which one was smarter? In 2003, Palermo was sentenced to 16 years in federal prison. But because of his cooperation, he got credit for time served. He was released in 2015, reportedly entered the Witness Protection Program. The DeCavalcante family was decimated. The FBI called it one of the most successful organized crime prosecutions in history. Our detective stamps the file. Case closed. Vincent Palermo is either dead, 2012 according to some sources, or living under a new identity somewhere in America. The real Tony Soprano didn't die in a diner. He disappeared into the system. But the question remains, was he a coward for flipping? Or was he the only one smart enough to survive? Our detective closes the file. The answer depends on who you ask.